Hi guys, welcome to the weekly property roundup for this week. This is where I look at the number of instructions coming onto the market compared to the number of properties sold in the same period. This gives us a good indicator about how much demand's in the marketplace just now in terms of house sales and in terms of house instructions. If it's a good time to sell, if it's not the right time to sell, should we wait? All these indicators come into play when we look at these figures. Remember, it's about the number of transactions. It's not really about the house price. The house price is a product of the number of transactions coming on and the number of transactions sold. So this is the week from the 10th of January to the 16th of January. It seems like light years ago, New Year was here, and yet it's only just over 2 weeks ago. Surprisingly, unbelievable. Okay, so we're going to look at, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask me them. More than happy to answer these questions here. Okay, so let's have a wee look at the numbers coming on this week. Now we have Cooper had 10 instructions coming on. That's 10 properties signed up, coming to the market. 7 properties sold. St Andrews had 4 properties coming on, 5 properties sold. The East Neuk had 2 coming on, 3 properties sold. The Levenmouth area, 10 coming on, 11 sold. Dunfermline, 29 and 28. Glenrothes, 11 and 16. Kirkcaldy, look at this for Kirkcaldy, 20 coming on and 43 sold in the same period. I have a sneaking suspicion that some of this is the lag from the New Year and Christmas period, and some of the estate agents are now just coming back to work, and these house sales are actually following through as a result of that. So maybe next week's going to give us a stronger indicator of where we're going with this. But suffice to say, I mean, 86 instructions coming on in a week, that's actually lower than the average. The average is round about 100 a week. The number sold is obviously clearly above average, but again, it demonstrates demand is outstripping supply just now. Now, that was kind of similar last week, and it was similar last year as well. Obviously, the most prominent area, it typically is demand's outstripping supply, is the East Neuk area, closely followed by the Glenrothes area and the Levenmouth area. Surprisingly, you would think it was St Andrews, but it's not. Last year, St Andrews' demand and supply was 88%. So it wasn't outstripping demand. So maybe that might change in the coming months, the coming weeks. We don't know, and we'll see where that happens. So what's my predictions really just now? I think personally the market is so predictable just now. I've often said it, and I'll say it again. If you're considering and selling in the next 2 to 3 months, or even 6 months, now is probably the time to consider that. Now is the time to sell. You have less properties coming on. You've got less to compete with. But clearly, if you look at this example here, demand is still outstripping supply. Well, what does that mean? That means the price that you'll get at the end, it will probably be a lot more than the home report value. And that's what we're seeing. So let me give you an indicator about how that is. All of our instructions last year, in terms of what came to market and what was sold against the asking price, we've achieved £800,000 more, just thereabouts, more for our customers than what the asking price was. And generally, in most cases, 80% of our properties were actually home report value asking price or more. So that gives you a strong indication about where the market was last year. And I think where it is just now, it is very predictable. Okay, so let's move on and we'll talk about instructions coming to market. Okay, Croft Crescent, Mark Inch, 2-bedroom upper flats coming to market. Randolph Street in Buckhaven, a stunning bungalow we have coming on in Newborough. This has been built 2 or 3 years ago, and it is finished to an extremely high standard. We're going to be doing the photographs and description this week. There'll be a pre-launch. Remember what I said about pre-launches. Pre-launches mean that there will actually be a live launch on social media on these channels about 5 days before it actually goes to the portals. You'll see it before then. So it's key here that you follow our Facebook pages if you want to see these pre-launches live, because you'll be notified with them instantly if that's the case, if you follow the page. If you don't, then you'll miss out. And sadly, you'll probably miss out some of the properties we've sold before they even got to the portals. And everybody, people have come back to us and says, well, we never even got a chance. Well, the reason that you never got a chance is because we launched it on social media and they got a price beyond their expectations, and the seller decided to accept it before it actually went to Rightmove or Prime Location or Zoopla or any portal at all. So my recommendation is always follow Facebook pages for estate agents, because sometimes you'll always see it there first. I don't know about anybody else. I can't really speak for them. Okay, so you've probably seen the home tour or the full Grand Designs tour. We're trying to take a leaf out of their book and do some sort of, this full presentation, and we'll be doing live and questions and answers while we're doing it as well. We're looking at doing that and moving it into a different era or a different level of broadcasting in terms of our property launches. So Melville Terrace in Anstruther, you've probably seen that one come on. Actually, stunning property inside. So the home tour or the walk through the pre-launch is on our social media channels. High Street in Ely will be coming on soon. That's a pristine property. Again, it's just around the corner from the harbour and the beach. James Street in Pittenweem, that's just about to be listed. That's a 1-bedroom upper apartment in Pittenweem. Bayview Crescent in Methil, that is a 3-bedroom semi-detached. You'll have probably seen the pre-launch with our estate agent Jimmy Mullen doing a pre-launch. You'll have probably seen the pre-launch as well with Brown Crescent and Methil Hill. That's a really high standard property. Offers over 100,000. And Ettrick Way in Glenrothes will be coming on soon as well. So these are all properties to watch out for in the market. And now, finally, just before I wrap up here, we have an article which we spoke about yesterday in yesterday's Fife Property Show. This is the swift and safe and sure way, the guide to selling your Fife home in lockdown. Remember, the market is still open for business. We just have to be more vigilant, and we've got more controls and more restrictive measures we need to abide by in order to make sure everybody's safe. But the market is still open for rentals. The market is still open for house sales, and we're still doing everything at a socially distanced measures. Hence the reason why every single one of our properties have actually got personal property tours, so you get to see everything about the property actually before you even inquire, before you inquire about it. And then if you want to look around the property after seeing that, then you'll obviously be pre-qualified as well to make sure you're in a position to proceed. And that's the key here. You need to be in a position to proceed, to move forward, and that means you have to have your house on the market. For example, you've got an offer on your house, you're a cash buyer, you've got a mortgage in principle in place. If you're sitting without your house on the market and you need to sell, to buy, you will not be entertained, I'm afraid. That is the Scottish Government's guidelines. You will not be entertained for a house view, and if you are, whoever it does it is actually breaking the rules and breaking the law. So we've been given clear instructions by the Housing Minister, Kevin Stewart, and the panel as well, in order that is the case. Okay, so measures as well, valuing your home, hosting viewings is all on this blog and vlog and podcast, which is on this post as well. You can listen to it, you can watch it, you can read it at your own leisure. Seizing the momentum and the legal and lending situation as well as the moving day and what would be done on moving day as well. So if you need to speak to me later on, if you see this broadcast, please feel free to message me direct here on the social media channels, or you can just send me an email at info@fifeproperties.co.uk for my attention. Or you could probably just phone any one of the offices and just ask to have a wee chat with me, or a chat with any of our estate agents, because we're all available on the phone and any other means of contact. Okay, guys. So until next time, I'm Jim Parker for Fife Properties TV.